Hello YouTube, my name is Raymond. I'm from the Netherlands, so apologies for my very Dutch accent. And this will be my third video on Infinity, a war game made by Corvus Belli. And I want to talk about a little bit of the advanced part of Infinity. Because, well, there are enough videos about the basic rules and bad raps, but I think this part of the game has not been properly addressed yet, so I will do it. And it's about shooting around corners, which you will be doing 90% of the time in Infinity. So here we have Yujing Wu Min with a heavy machine gun, ready to go in his active turn around the corner to shoot the Nomad Moira in the face. If you spend an order, you can have two short orders, and in this case the Wu Ming is deciding to go first short order move, second short order fire, because he wants to shoot the Nomad. So he will get around the corner with his movement. The Nomad player can decide to either, well, shoot or dodge or whatever, and the second short order will be spent by the Wu Ming to fire at the Nomad, and the duel can commence. Important to note, me as a, well, at first 40k player, we have been learned to draw a firing line from the muzzle, but in Infinity you have to draw the line from the middle of the model, and as I can show here, the gun is slightly more to the right, so actually you have to draw a line from here except instead of here. And why this is important? Because some players might only chuck their gun around the corner, but actually you have to come more out of the corner to show the middle of your model and draw a line to fire at the Nomad. So far so good, but it can get troublesome when you have a link team, and I will show you thus. So now we have a Nomad link team. 3 models, that's the minimum of a link team. And well, link teams have certain perks. If you are with 3, you can have an extra burst. So now the Wu Ming has gotten into a situation where if he comes around the corner, 3 models can fire at him, not only with all 3 one burst, but actually 2. So 6 shots, while his HMG only is capable of 4. So he can be in a disadvantage if he faces them around the corner. But I've met a few players who try to pick off a link team one by one. And they do it as thus. They, well, take their short order, move with their Wu Ming, but start finagling their model in such a way that only the right model can see you and the others don't. So that he can only have a line of sight with just one model. The problem with it is that it drags time. The opponent is just moving around his model to get in a way that he can only shoot one. My experience is that the opponent will ask me to look from my side if one can actually see. If all 3 see, he takes his model and pushes it just in a way that he only can see one. And this is time consuming and very irritating as well, because, well, you might, as a Nomad player, have set up your 3 models in a way that you wanted to guard this one corner, let the Wu Ming think twice about getting around it. So this is the part when it actually can get a little bit complicated, because, well, if you want to draw a shot, you have to draw the shot from the middle. So the Wu Ming has to get his middle around the corner to even get a shot, to even declare a shot against the model. But you only have to see a head-sized part of a model to actually draw a shot, and if you draw a shot on a head-sized part of a model, your opponent is allowed to shoot back. So this leaves the Wu Ming 3 options to actually engage these Moiras, and I will show you that. So the first one is very straightforward, and this is where the Wu Ming probably will engage all three models. If you play your first part of a short order, you have to well, put down your model, not finagle, just say, well, this is what I think is right. Opponent, nomad, you're allowed to arrow. Do you declare arrows? Well, probably he will say yes, all three of them, because all three can see the Wu Ming, and shots will be fired. So the second option and also the third option will be the options where the Wu Ming actually tries to get line of sight with only one model while avoiding line of sight with the other two. In this case, the Wu Ming will leave cover and draw line of sight with just one model, while the other two can't see him because, well, the building is still in the way. In this way, the Wu Ming has the upside of only have to face one Moira model, but the downside of, well, losing all the plus modifiers from cover, the arm 3 bonus, but, well, he only faces 2 shots instead of 6. So the third option is the trickier option. This is the option where the Wu Ming player takes a risk of not even getting to fire at all with his second order. He doesn't want to give up cover, he doesn't want to give up his arm 3, but he still wants to shoot just only one model. And this is where you can use the head-sized rule. So the Wu Ming player in his first short order tries only to stick a head-sized part of him out. The Wu Ming player actually tries to trick the Nomad player into shooting with only one model against the Wu Ming. So the Nomad player has the initiative of choosing, well, do I arrow with one model or do I leave the Wu Ming player with a second order not well spent? Because in this option the Wu Ming can't decide to fire. He has to wait for the arrow, for a shot, to actually be able, because of the rules, to fire, because the rules state that anyone who can draw fire can fire back. So again, from up top. First option, getting around the corner, middle out, having line of fire to all three models, funnel times. Second order, leaving cover, but in such a way that the building blocks line of sight with the two models, but not with the one model you want to engage. And the third option, sticking only one head-sized piece of yourself out of cover, so that only one model can draw arrow, but the others can't. And thereby risking that the Wu Ming player can only take a shot if the Nomad player decides to shoot in their arrow. Important to notice, the bigger the base or the model, the trickier option 2 and 3 becomes, because, well, if you want to draw from the middle with bigger bases, more stick out, as you can see with the tag and my Moblo. So there are still two ways to handle this, well, 3 option situation. You either be straightforward about what you're gonna do. So you can say, well, I will take option 1, I will just draw my middle out and the 3 models can see me, or I will go for option 2, come out of cover, take the negative modifiers because of it, but only have line of sight with only one model. Or third option, I stick a bit of myself out and hope for the arrow of the Nomad to actually shoot at the Wu Ming. So your opponent can, and you as well, if your opponent tries the same thing, can either take this at face value and say, well, you chose one of the options, they have their perks, they have their negatives, so we will go with that. Or actually try to look at the situation from the nomad perspective and see, well, you tried to get your model into line of sight with the one, but I can actually see with the other two models, so they will take their shot even when you're trying to get only one shot. My advice is don't be a dick about it. Try to avoid the finagling, try to avoid the discussion, try to play it as straightforward, because well, it needs to be enjoyable for both parties. It's a social game, and well, just throw dice and have fun. So that's my advice, and I hope to see you in the next video.